Hello, I'm Uma, a cloud support engineer here at the AWS office in Northern Virginia. Today I'm going to show you how users can access a private Amazon Redshift cluster from their local machine. So let's get started. This method of connecting to a private Redshift cluster involves creating an SSH tunnel using an Amazon Elastic Compute Cloud instance and installation of any SQL client tool. In this demo, we'll use SQL Workbench J. Following are a few things to consider for this demo. I launched an Amazon Redshift cluster in an Amazon Virtual Private Cloud and also launched an EC2 instance in the same VPC as the Amazon Redshift cluster. The EC2 instance will be launched in a public subnet of the VPC and the Amazon Redshift cluster in a private subnet. To connect using SSH, there must be an SSH rule to the inbound rules of the security group associated with the EC2 instance. The Amazon Redshift cluster security group has the inbound rule to allow traffic from the EC2 instance's security group for Amazon Redshift port number 5439. For this demo, the Amazon Redshift cluster is private because its public accessibility is configured to no. The Amazon Redshift cluster must be in the available state. Now let's connect to the EC2 instance from the local machine. Run the following command to install telnet. Use telnet to test the connection to your Amazon Redshift cluster. In the following command, replace the cluster endpoint and cluster port with your values. Or use dig to confirm that your local machine can reach the private IP address of the Amazon Redshift cluster. In the following command, replace cluster endpoint with your cluster endpoint. These steps make sure that the EC2 instance can reach the Amazon Redshift cluster. Now let's create the tunnel. Install SQL Workbench J on the local machine and also the JDBC driver for Amazon Redshift. In SQL Workbench J, create a connection profile using the JDBC driver. To configure the SSH connection in SQL Workbench J, choose SSH and then enter the following. SSH hostname will be the public IP address or DNS of the EC2 instance. SSH port to be 22. Username EC2-user. Private key file, the .pem file that you downloaded when you created the EC2 instance. Password, keep this field empty. Local port, any free local port. Your Amazon Redshift cluster uses port 5439 by default. DB hostname, the cluster endpoint. Please ensure it should not include the port number or database name. DB port 5439. Select rewrite JDBC URL. Choose OK to save the SSH settings. Be sure that the JDBC URL and super username and password are entered correctly. Choose test to confirm that the connection is working. So now you know how users can access a private Amazon Redshift cluster from their local machine. Thanks for watching and happy cloud computing from all of us here at AWS.